Good Monday morning. No, great Monday morning. This is Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo Community, and it's a reinventing drawing group Monday morning, bright and early, with Jake Meeks from the Fireside Tattoo Network. Not sure where you're beaming in from, or if you're listening to like a podcast or a replay. We are going out on the Facebooks, YouTubes, and also always through the community. The Reinventing the Tattoo community. It's free. You can go straight to community.reinventingthetattoo.com or either of the app stores. Pick your poison, Apple or Google. If you download the app, it's a pretty easy sign up, and you have access to all of the upcoming live events, and you just click on the buttons and then you can actually join these events. If you are an artist, an apprentice, a tattooer of any skill level, you are encouraged to Zoom in. You will find that link, how to Zoom in the event schedule inside of that community when we post it out on all the different networks, and all the spammers and stuff get in there. And that was horrible that one time that happened. So we're never doing that again. But it's also great for people to join the community. So yeah, this is the Reinventing Drawing Group. You could find all of the replays inside of the library in the app, or if you go to the Reinventing the Tattoo YouTube channel, then or the podcast, you could catch all of the replays. And please, or this is a new place too. If you go to reinventing247.com, it will have replays on 4 or 5 channels at any given time. It's still just out of development, but yeah, you check it out, reinventing247.com. We have all of the replays just kind of going like a network. It's pretty crazy. Okay. Yeah, we have art jams, drawing groups, interviews, discussion panels, webinars. It's pretty awesome, the amount of information that is in there. It's great to play in the background of your tattoo shop, or if you have a client who's squiggly, throw on some headphones, listening to some of these interviews is a good way to soothe them. There is also a Aja Lu and Android Jones kind of art thing. It's an art jam. It's about an hour and a half long. It's really cool. And again, it's great for clients. Okay. Oh, goodie bags. If you go to reinventingthetattoo.com/sample pack, then you will fill out your address, answer a couple of questions, and the goodie bags, the sample packs, they're soon to be Reinventing's famous sample packs. They have cartridges from Cheyenne. They have some pigment samples from Raw Pigments. And let's see, I think we've got some stickers now. We've got a flyer. And we are putting more and more things in there. We're about to reach out to more sponsors to get more stuff. I think there's actually t-shirts from Ricardo that will go into some of them. If you go to reinventingthetattoo.com/sample pack, if the promotion's over, then you'll get a little sign of where to go next. But for a while there, you can just go there and pick up some awesome samples from those guys. Let's see. So weekly staple shows that are happening on the Reinventing the Tattoo channel all the time. We have Sundays at 1 o'clock Eastern with Jason Leeser, Jason Leeser. He's on. He'll correct me at some point. Every Sunday at 1 o'clock, which means that I don't think anybody really has to get up early for it unless you're in Asia. But we do that every Sunday. It's awesome. He leads a great group. We've got people popping in all the time. 9 o'clock in the morning on Mondays, 9 o'clock Eastern. It's very early for the East Coasters, and we thank everybody for waking up early for that. 9 o'clock with Jake Meeks from the Fireside Tattoo Network. He has a ton of information. He's got years of interviews at the Fireside Tattoo Network YouTube channel and podcast, and we're very happy to have him here every Monday. Let's see. He's got a good coupon code or an affiliate code. If you go to reinventingthetattoo.com/fireside, then you get a coupon for the Reinventing the Tattoo subscription. Now, there is also a sample chapter, a couple sample chapters, including at least one full webinar and one Monday morning or Monday evening exercise with Guy, so that you could check out, see if you dig what's going on. And then, yeah, with Jake's referral, you get 10% off. It's pretty cool. People are digging it and using it. And yeah, so that's the Reinventing the Tattoo subscription is really the beating heart in the subscribers, the paid subscribers. It's like $300 a year, less than $30 a month, less than $1 a day, as Jason had said earlier. You know, it's basically access to tons of information. It's hours and hours of webinars and videos. Guy has gotten in there and done the editing himself. So as you can see, kind of I guess this is going through different videos now, but he's got like the arrows pointing all the right directions, the new groupings. Anyways, so he's got the whole curriculum is in there for you to access 24 hours a day. And then every Monday at 9 o'clock, there are exclusive exercises. Guy gets everybody together. They do homework critiques. And it's pretty amazing. It's like going to the gym or to the dojo and doing your art exercises. And one might think if you are not doing your art exercises or going to the art dojo a couple times a week, then you are going to get nothing. Then you're going to be very impressed by all the artists who are doing it, because their work progresses on a rapid basis. It's amazing. It's a pleasure to see. Let's see. Thursdays at noon, we've got the Tattoo Collecting Podcast with Jordan Ruckus and Fawn Baker. They are doing like 2 hours of tattoo collecting talk. Amazing collectors with often with bodysuits and large scale tattoos. They talk about their journey from, experimenting and then learning how to get good tattoos. Some of them actually learn how to get good tattoos right away. Russ Abbott was on there recently. It's pretty awesome. The Tattoo Collecting Podcast. And then Sundays at 9 o'clock, we are now doing the Tattoo Weekly. Lauren, Jake, and I will be wrapping up some of our favorite highlights from the past week. We'll be talking about what's happening next week. It's going to force us to get all our schedules just one more round tighter, so that that happens. That's going to be every Sunday at 9 o'clock. It was a lot of fun yesterday. I was exposed to a couple clips that I had missed, and yeah, it's amazing how much great content there is. Okay, look, last but certainly not least, we have our sponsors, rawpigments.co. Check them out. They are acrylic free, which they don't dry up in the cup, and they're not vegan free. They are actually vegan. Rawpigments.co, inkjetstencils.com. They are killing it with these printers, and it saves the tattooers, wrist strain, a little bit of dough, and definitely some time. And you treat your tattoo reference pictures right on your iPad or on the computer, printed out from your eco-friendly, refillable Epson printer, and they sell the paper and the inks, and yeah, the stencils come out, and it's pretty cool. Check it out, inkjetstencils.com. Who else we have? TattooNow.com for your computer geek needs. Now that Reinventing is in order, I am getting back to the website clients and can take on new people. We do SEO work, do some consulting and CRM stuff, the whole 9 yards for computer geeky stuff. GuyAitchison.com is Guy who literally made this happen. He literally wrote the book, Reinventing the Tattoo. We wouldn't be here doing all this awesome stuff if he wasn't working really hard and making sure that happens. And he has things for sale there. He has paintings, prints, the Biomech Encyclopedia. Actually, I got to get this handy to show off. It's awesome. Anyways, GuyAitchison.com. Let's see, Dermalize Pro or Delize Pro is coming on as a sponsor. WorldTattooEvents.com. Okay, it's Monday morning. I can't believe I got through all this stuff. Real World Events, we're doing stuff October 3rd to the 6th. Paradise BYOB at Jiminy Peak, November 12th to the 14th is the International Brussels Tattoo Convention. I was just talking to Kim before I came on here. It's going to be a pretty awesome event. Ivana and Baxter are coming over to do seminars. I'll do seminars. I think Mark from Needlejig just signed on. Lauren, a whole mess of Reinventing tattooers. Jason Ricardo, I don't want to. Who knows? A whole bunch of people are coming. You should meet us there. That's November 12th to the 14th, presuming the world doesn't go on worldwide lockdown again. And then 2022, we've got Hell City, May 20th to the 22nd. That's Hell City, Columbus. July 8th to the 10th, 2022, the Rock River Art Expo outside of Chicago, Rockford, Illinois, tattooartexpo.com. July 29th to the 31st, 2022 is the Rubber City Tattoo Invitational with Tony Urbanek. That's in Akron, Ohio. And you've seen Tony. He's done a lot of the Tattoo Machine interviews and stuff. It's awesome. And then lastly, October 20 to the 23rd is the Paradise Tattoo Gathering next year. It's going to be the Thursday to Sunday, the full Paradise Tattoo Gathering that we missed having a couple years ago. So I am going to hop in the background. Again, please give us a share and a follow wherever you may be. And I'll be hopping in the background, to answer questions, not to answer questions, to ask the questions. Hey, Jake, how goes it?
Hey, great, man. It feels like that we were just here like an hour ago.
The Sunday night, Monday mornings, or, late to bed, early to rise.
Yeah, no doubt. That was fun though. We not many people saw it, luckily, because we were kind of like testing. But the Tattoo Weekly is going to be a little bit like a newscast at the end of the week that kind of go, or the start of the week, however you view Sunday. That it's kind of weird. I'm looking at Ricardo twice right now on your
Oh
screen,
yeah.
and then yeah. It's distracting. But I enjoyed it, and I agree. I think that the challenge is going to be just making sure that we all have content ready to go for the following week, and that's really one of my weaknesses. Is I will sit on content and not finish my edits or not get it prepared to get out, and I'm hoping that kind of helps me.
Yeah.
Helps
You
me
are
along.
also an efficiency kind of a guy who loves executive level processes. So
Yeah.
we could probably both like hammer out, 6 clips, in an afternoon, so that we have, 3 episodes of clips, ready to go.
Mhm.
And then all we have to do is, 1 a week of something that may have happened or something that's relevant that's coming up.
Exactly what I was thinking. I thought one thing that I've been doing a little bit early on in our edits, or whether I'm editing it or Scott, who helps me, we'll go just if we're going through and we're laying the footage out, and I hear something interesting, well, I'll just go ahead and clip it and make that little clip for Instagram or for whatever it is before the episode is at all edited. You know what I mean? It's not even.
Yeah.
I'll just like, oh, that would be a good little like something to share, and so just grab those things out. So I was thinking the same thing. If I start doing that, immediately, then I've got a little bank of these clips for the Tattoo Weekly that that we can drop out there.
That's
Get ahead
definitely
of the game a little bit.
one of the improvements that we're the next maybe not the next sponsor. We need to get a couple pieces of equipment, but 2 sponsors away, we will have somebody out there knows how to catalog 20 hours of footage a week.
Right.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
There's 20% we gotta trim out, but the rest of it, there's all sorts of good stuff everywhere. And to your point, if we were to have a searchable database of apprentice topics, all of a sudden between the 2 channels, boom, there crazy amounts of info there.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when you were talking about the subscription cost, and I was just thinking about all the stuff in reinventing all the value, and really that should be packaged in some way for shops who are mentoring apprentices or up and coming tattooers. The subscription should be should be sold as kind of an apprenticeship package.
We have a $300 a month sponsorship package that's kind of designed for shops, just for that. It comes with a couple different licenses for the Reinventing. Has a little bit of advertising in. If there's when the shops are advertising on a regular basis, I'm not going to open up another tattoo shop just so I could advertise on a regular basis on such a tremendous opportunity. I'm already overwhelmed with calls without a shop, but the fact is, this is a pretty awesome way to get a hold of some really awesome artists, and these podcasts and everything are going to stay up forever. So that's the soft Monday morning sales pitch.
Yeah, perfect. Well, let's jump over to everybody. What's up, everybody? Good to see all you guys. Got a decent group today. I think I know everybody. How was everyone's weekend, and what? Someone jump in. What are you guys working on this week? Gabe, you're still featured on my screen, but it's just your thumbnail. I don't know if that's everyone or just me. You're still like the main page. Jason, you're unmuted. What's you working on?
Just getting some flash designs together for the Gettysburg show
like
coming
that.
up.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, it's one of 5 I've gotten together so far.
For which show is coming up?
Gettysburg.
Okay,
So
yeah.
the Battlefield Tattoo Expo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I threw together like a little chrysanthemum hang tag. I'm working on another fish. Got a dragon in here somewhere in one of these groups.
Yeah, nice. Kind of dropping them all in the same project, just different groups. Oh yeah.
And then I've got like a whole other sheet that I'm working off of. Got those drawn up last week.
Yeah.
Probably throw like a nice little like old vintage paper texture background to them.
Mm-hmm.
Print that out on 11x14 cardstock and cut them all out. Tape them down to the table. Hey, if you want it, here you go. I'll give you a good price on it.
Yeah.
And that way I've got some stuff set and ready to go that's eye-catching. It's going to draw people in. have them come over, stop by. Maybe I'll get to tattoo a couple of them. Maybe
Yeah.
not. Who knows? But I've got that and a whole bunch more that I drew up, for the past few years. Got a whole bunch of other little goldfish here that I want to tattoo. Got some other chrysanthemums, some snakes, some peony flowers.
Yeah.
Just all fun stuff that I really want to tattoo, and that's what I really try to drive people towards whenever I work a show. Is, hey, I'm here. Yes, I'm working and I'm trying to make the money, but I'm also here having fun, right? I want to be able to do tattoos that I really enjoy, that I really get a kick out of doing, and I'm trying to advertise that to everyone.
Right. Do you advertise when you have like one-shot pieces like that? Do you put them out at shows as flat rate tattoos, or do you like just roughly
usually
the size they are?
If it's a one-shot tattoo that I really want to work on start to finish, I'll give them a flat price. I won't even worry about time.
Yeah.
I'm just going to enjoy my time doing it, really focus on quality over quantity and just really hammer it in there. Really make sure all the colors nice and saturated, all the black and gray blends are super smooth, all the line work is super dark and crispy clean.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take my time with it and enjoy it.
Right. My friend Ty Pilata, we tattoo a lot together at shows, and he's really good about he's got a little kind of a one-shot wall that he brings just a little clipboard, so that instead of all of his drawings being flat on the table, they're
hanging up.
They're hanging up, and that really makes a difference. Actually, I've seen it over the years of just watching people walking down the aisle and how everyone stops to look at his little wall. And he basically just has them categorized in a way. I think they're categorized where it's just like this little block of, these are 300 flat, and these are 650 flat, and these are 175 or whatever they are, 250. And he does. It's funny because he'll do. I mean, they're flash pieces, so he'll do them kind of over and over. And there are these little they're little cherry blossoms with eyeballs in them that he's been doing for years, and it's amazing how many of those he does in a weekend. It's just like he just does the same tattoo over and over. I mean, he changes them a little bit. He plays with color, and he'll do different reflections in the eye, but it's basically the same tattoo. And like everyone that walks by, that guy can walk up, not booked at all for the weekend, and sit there and tattoo like 6 little flowers with eyeballs.
That's pretty fun, man.
Yeah, it's cool. And I mean, I guess everyone picking them off the wall kind of knows that they're, that they're not the only one with that piece. But yeah, man, that guy's like, he's typically always working. But I think the flat rate stuff helps a lot, and definitely I think the fact that he's got them up in front of people's faces and they don't have to flip through a book or anything makes a huge difference.
And bright colors.
Right. Yeah.
You want to attract people's eye.
Yeah. A lot of times he leaves his in colored pencil for whatever reason. But I talked to the first person to bring that idea up to me was Euless Blair. I don't know if you guys know him, but I don't know if it was in a podcast or just talking, but he was saying that you forget that people can't really visualize the finished product as easily as you can, and it's just as simple as like doing a fully rendered piece of flash, whether it's digital or you print it or do it traditionally or whatever. And he said that whenever he first started doing all those kinds of like birds and flowers that are so recognizable that he does, it was because he was doing full-on finished kind of flash of those pieces, and so it was so much easier to kind of sell them. So yeah, I agree with that.
Oh, I see. So you're saying like there's no concrete way of it being done. They didn't see it as, oh, I need to have it red or it needs to be purple. Like they can kind of just pick the colors, and it's a little bit more customizable.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome. That's a good way to think about it. Yeah.
But you were talking about how they were rendering them out so that the client could see the different color sets, right? So did they have like 2 different sets? Did he have like some line drawings and fully rendered, or was it just fully rendered?
Yeah, he had them just fully rendered, like setting out, and so they would just be one particular color. But I think whether or not the people want that color, just seeing it finished, they could walk up and say, "Oh, I love that, but I don't like yellow." And he's like, "That's cool. We can do it in pink." But it's just regardless of the color scheme that it is, it's just seeing it finished and seeing it with like muted
Absolutely.
colors and bright colors and stuff like that. And of course the colors can change, but if they don't like those colors, but just seeing the finished, product is what I think makes a difference.
Awesome. One of the books I read really early on the computer design side was called Don't Make Me Think. And it was basically about website usability, but it really is about kind of all usability. And if somebody doesn't kind of immediately know, without thinking, how to get to the next step towards what they're, seeking to get towards, they're off somewhere else, right? So just to your point, like even having them rendered, but if they're flat or if they were in a book where the book closed, makes all the difference in the world. Like you could have all those fully rendered twice as more skilled, but if they're in a book that's closed, somebody's going to, more people are going to walk right on by. Whereas to your point, you see them hanging up, they're just, they see it while they're walking by. They don't have to do any work.
I love that kind of, I love to watch and see how people react to different booths with different setups like that. And like I said, the most successful thing I've seen is Ty's just wall of actual drawings. A lot of people have their iPads out that just are like scanning through all of their work, just on the, whatever you call it, slideshow kind of setting. And I don't think people stand around and look at those slideshows very long. I mean, in my experience, they don't. Like they'll, especially unless the very first one that they happen to come across is like really speaks to them. Like as soon as they walk up, there's some awesome piece on the slideshow, and so they walk over to look at it, and then they get caught. But the chances are like, people just walk right by that thing, and if the first thing that they see doesn't grab them, they're not going to hang out to see the next thing. And which is that's what I use is the slideshow thing. That's why I say that. I've usually got Ty right next to me with his board of physical drawings and me with my slideshow, and way more people stop and look at his work than look at mine. But yeah, it's interesting. Like same experience.
Absolutely. I was there getting tattooed by Clint Danroth from Canada. Booked the appointment with him, and he really took care of me while I was there. But all of the sketches and all of the tattoos that he wanted to do, they were just done with like a simple value rendering, but they were all done in colored pencil. But they were against a neon yellow poster board, and they were all done in different colors. Some were done in purple, some in pink, some in red, some in green, some in orange. So we had all of these different colored pencil, like just value renderings, all done by hand, all on tracing paper. And as people would walk by, their eye would naturally be attracted to their favorite color. So they'd stop and they'd look at that, and then they'd start looking at all the other ones. And it was amazing how much foot traffic and how many people just ended up getting jammed in front of his booth just looking at his drawings. But it was all on a vertical poster board. So it was all up, everyone could see him without having to look down at all. And it was all there, and it caught your eye. There's no way you could have missed it from across the room.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I never thought about using a neon background, but I bet that does work.
Especially if that curtain is like a dark black or something with a lot of deep value to it. Yeah. Just try off.
Gabe sent me a screenshot of this like 2-story booth, kind of as a half joke about like we need to split this at some show.
Was
like
nothing joking about that, man. I'm fucking on, dude. I'm like, I'm ready to go. Let's fucking kill it. People have already done that before, so that's the teaser of what's coming next.
Yeah, that's super cool, because the upstairs of it could be a podcast kind of space where people can see you, but they can't, but you can get away from the noise or whatever. But it made me think about just like how, people do really cool things with their booths, but no one really like starts with the booth itself. A lot of times we just use the flat table and just throw our own kind of like, whatever, our tablecloth kind of over it, and put our banners up. And it reminded me that the thing that you sent me reminded me of Pooch Best's setup, where he went and bought one of those crazy trade show like setups where it's like he sets this curved background in front of the black, just drape or whatever. It's like it's super clean. It looks almost like sheetrock or something, but it's like all white. Or was it? I think it was all white. It's like a half circle, and then his table in the front kind of mimics that circle, but it's a full kind of table. It's like an oval shape, and it's got like, tables down, each kind of side. And when you walk by, like you can't not look at his setup before you even see what kind of work he's doing.
Yeah.
Just the setup itself is so crazy.
This is what this October is about. We have carte blanche at all of the whole resort, and so we want to get ourselves some, next level booths going on here. And the only real issue that I'm having is that often they will require another person. Right. So it's like that double-decker one, like that's like me, you, and like, the apprentice and somebody else whose hands we can't, or can't get hurt, it's a big ass setup.
Right.
But on the other hand, those things are great. And I think that, I guess Shotzi already had, somebody already had one of those back in the day. So we have to have like two of them connected with a bridge.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That'd be perfect. A little hanging swinging bridge, like with Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera.
Real quick, we have a new Zoom user, but if you can turn your phone sideways, then your camera will fill up the screen. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, maybe
wow.
almost. You got to shake it around a little bit, or maybe it's the other direction. And if that doesn't work, it's okay.
Oh, I didn't realize we have a bunch of people on. We're sitting here just talking about.
We'll just go the way it is. That's perfect. If you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, jump on and say hi.
Hi, I'm Lauren.
Hey, Lauren, how are you?
Hey, welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
Hello.
Where are you from, Lauren, or where do you live?
I'm from South Florida.
Oh, okay. So what time are you in Central or Eastern time? Do you know what time is it for you?
Question. It's like 9:30.
Okay, cool. So it's a little later for you. I'm always curious. We get a lot of people from overseas because it's like a reasonable hour for them to be on and drawing, because it's in the afternoon. I'm always curious we have a couple folks. I think I just saw Melissa. Yeah, Melissa's on this morning, and she's got it tougher than all of us because she's on the West Coast. So it's like still dark where she is. So are you a tattooer, or are you just an apprentice, or what? Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yes, I've been tattooing a few years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you are you working on a particular project this morning?
This morning, no. I just woke up, but I just wanted to come say hi, see what you guys are up to.
Yeah. Well, sweet. That's awesome. Yeah, thanks for jumping on. Where do you tattoo? What kind of shop is it? Like kind of a street shop or a custom shop, big shop, small shop?
It's a street shop in downtown Jensen Beach.
Jensen Beach. All right. What is that near?
West Palm, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. And do you focus on a particular type of tattooing, or being a walk-in shop, you just do what walks through the door?
I do a lot of walk-ins all day, but I enjoy working with color.
Yeah, sweet. Do you have any examples of work or anything, or an Instagram, anything you could share with folks?
Yeah. How do I put my Instagram up?
What's I have a search open here. What's the Instagram?
It's laurenlove.tattoo.
Oh, that's familiar. I think have we talked before? Or no? Or have you?
No, I think so.
Okay, your Instagram handle sounds familiar to me for some reason. I only know Instagram.
And you're at Jensen Beach. Here we go.
Sweet. Oh yeah. Yeah, nice.
Cool. 30.
And you said you've been tattooing what, how many years?
Probably like 3. It was on and off though. This is my first full year back full time.
Oh, nice. Well, that's this piece right here is nice. That's an ambitious piece for about 3 years or less. Yeah, good deal. What type of work does your shop do as a whole? Is it kind of a little bit of everything, or?
Yeah, everybody does a little bit of everything. It's all women artists right now.
Cool. Oh, nice. Yeah.
But a lot of walk-ins, a lot of tourists in that area.
Yeah. I came from a studio that was basically all women and two guys, but like 6 women and 2 guys. It's rare for our neck of the woods here in the South in Tennessee. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What do you have pulled up, Dick?
Yeah. Here's a rabbit hole. Oh boy.
Well, awesome. Well, yeah, thanks for jumping on. You should definitely come jump in, any morning and work on some projects. We always everyone's always helping each other out with ideas and stuff. We all have something that we have to work on for the upcoming week, and it's always nice to have like another set of eyeballs on your drawings to kind of help you along.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna move through because I didn't realize how many people were on. I was like sitting here looking at my drawing and not looking at everyone. Melissa, what's up with you since you're sacrificing to come in so early? You there?
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up? What you working on?
So I'm working on a cover-up project that is not actually going to be done. It's supposed to be done this coming week. She had some rescheduling she needed to do. So now it's not going to be started until like September.
Oh,
But
at
it's
least you have some time.
a large piece. Probably
Yeah.
the largest cover-up I've done yet.
Yeah.
Let me zoom in on what I'm covering.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's see. I can't see what you're actually covering up. So it's in the center of her back. Oh, yeah. Cool. Yeah, this is
Wow.
Oh, that's dark
Oh, boy.
and big.
And no
Yeah.
lasering?
Yeah. No lasering.
No lasering.
uh,
Is there any possible reason for no lasering?
I
I mean, I practically give her $100 to laser it once or twice.
right.
You're right.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, please.
It's
please don't do
actually-
this.
it's the upside is that it's predominantly not scarred.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's
and
surprising.
this
It
is-
looks like it would be.
Yeah. This was her first tattoo.
Oh,
When she was 18, and she's
No.
in her 40s or so.
Wow.
And
wow.
Yeah.
Well, she's going to be very
this-
happy with the end result. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah. She's a long-term client. We actually talked about this piece for years.
Ooh.
So it's nice to actually finally get to do it.
You and Akshay
this
should
is-
start a support group for people covering up tattoos like that.
Right?
no doubt, dude.
Yeah, it's quite the thing, but this is the idea.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 Cool. That looks great. Looks like you're using all of the negative space the best you can through there. So the idea with the kind of organic shape, is it like a shell or is it wood or what's the like the
So the only wood in here would be like the branch area. Believe it or not, the outer edges were made following, like, looking at a conch shell.
That's, I kind of thought about that when I first looked at it. That's what I was.
Yeah. And then the organic thing that's going to be covering the very center of that giant mess is just, I was like looking at kind of one of those things I was just doodling with. This is a piece I've been working on probably a couple of months now, just trying to work my head around it.
Yeah.
And I was doodling one day and I pulled up, photos of chrysalis and like cocoons and that kind of thing. And that's kind of where it went.
Yeah. Yeah. So are you going to try to light it from behind, from the inside and so that you can get strong contrast, or where's the light coming from?
So she's going to have, like, the chrysalis itself is going to glow a little bit, not super bright, but from like the negative spaces. The branch will mostly be silhouetted toward us, like how I see it. So it'll have a couple of bits of light from the glowy, but not tons, which will allow me kind of some play in how bright I have to make it. So this will be silhouetted and you'll see basically just like the edging of it. And then on the outside, it's kind of like the branches inside of a cave type thing.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to go dark and muted in here. And I'll be able to like throw some light on the outer
Yeah, the outside. Yeah, I mean, the shapes look good. I like the way that it kind of sits on her. Looks like you thought it out well. It's well planned. Oh, it's just getting it executed. It's going to be the challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
Ooh.
you start, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
What part of
Right.
this do I start on?
Right. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And so you're not starting it until September. Are you going to try to do, I guess, a little bit of a color study between now and then?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
working with just the shading today. I've got it all stenciled in on a canvas so I can play with some paint and figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Sweet. Well, cool. Good luck with that. Cool.
Yeah,
Better do,
right?
better do than me. On that note, let's switch over to Akshay and see if he's got one that can top that.
Akshay,
Jay, what's up?
What's up, man? How are you?
what's up, brother?
Any updates on your crazy cover-up projects?
Sir, I did yesterday one cover up wala scene that I showed you in the last week. It was a face of Poseidon that I did, but it's incomplete. I have to do it again in the next session, like after it gets healed a little bit. The face come very nicely, but the tribal area is crazy.
Oh, really? I'm trying to picture that one. What's the that's not the one with the big dark area on the forearm, right?
No, sir. This one,
Yeah.
sir. This one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What was the cover up in that one? I can't remember what you were covering.
Sir, there was a tribal design.
Oh, I do remember that one. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, nice.
All-
Yep. Now that you say it's tribal, I do remember. So how far did you get?
Sir, I did I completed this face part like nicely, but this part I got a little bit confused. Like how, I don't want to put all black inside here.
Mhm.
So there were some tribal designs that I made a shape of hair, like a beard shape from this side, and then I thought like I should put some whites on it, and then I got confused, and then I said in like I will see you in the next month.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes just getting away from it for a little while is the best option. You think you have a good plan and then something starts to go a little bit south, and it's best, rather than to make a rush decision, sometimes you just work on the stuff that you know what you're going to do, photograph it, get a tracing. I did a podcast with Teresa Sharp yesterday, and she was talking about that, about how sometimes you'll end up with this kind of weird little negative space, on the back of the arm or whatever it is, that things don't line up the way that you want. And she was talking about people in her shop trying to like fill it. And she's always encouraging people to, trace it, photograph it, or try to recognize it whenever it's still in stencil form. So you can put tracing paper over it and just trace out that space and take your time and come up with a better plan. But sometimes, you just want to see it. You want to see all the outlines in there. You want to have all the main problems solved in that first session, but on occasion that just doesn't work. And she even admitted that sometimes she's guilty of that, of like trying to make something work, and then, looking at the photographs later and going like, I probably could have done better than that. So, and if she's doing that, then probably we all are.
So, like if I put some white lines over that black area, like what do you think how it will go?
I mean, if you put some white lines in the black and then also put some darker blacks in the black and try to make it more, textural and kind of painterly, I think that works pretty regularly, pretty well. I think you can affect it, 10, 15%. And so if you're just trying to push contrast, I do that a lot in big black kind of areas, big dark areas. I'll just try to break it up with texture. And as long as like that design that you laid out is nice, so people are going to be looking at the face, they're not going to be looking in the beard that much anyways. As long as the beard isn't like so recognizably darker than everything else in that one spot. So sometimes like, if I find that I can't lighten it like as much as I want it, and it's just going to be dark, I'll find someplace else to balance it and make something else super dark too. Maybe it's the background over the top of his head or something. So you don't just have that one dark space, you're doing it in 2 or 3 different spots. And then it looks more intentional. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir, I was thinking that only. I was thinking to like if I put this kind of dark over here, I should put some dark on the forehead, like backside, or like put this kind of spot, something here and there, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You know, if you got one thing that isn't working well, try to repeat it. You know, that those kinds of so like if I've got a really mud, like I'm trying to cover something and I can't get the color to come through. If it's a color piece and I've got a cover up and the color is dingy in an area, I'll try to mimic that dingy color somewhere else so that it's not just in that one spot. And then you know, people don't, you know, people, as long as you did a good job distracting people from the cover up, then you're fine. You know, most of the time I tell people, like, chances are you and I will always know where this cover up is, and we'll always be able to pick some little piece of it out. But it's like no one else is going to know that. Just the two of us. So
It'll be our little secret.
That's awesome. That's a good way to say it, Jake. I always tell people, you know, if people look at your tattoo and they don't even say anything about it, then it's a success. Like they just think it's a brand new tattoo, you know, but you will always be able to see it, especially if there's scar tissue there, you know, like keloids and stuff like that. Sometimes it has a little bit of an effect on it, but as long as people can see it, then they think it's a brand new tattoo. That's all I know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel the same way. Yeah. Well, sweet, man, good. I can't wait to see that one finished. You don't have any progress shots of it? Did you take any pictures yesterday? You don't want to show them?
Okay.
You don't have to show them. You can wait. You can show us once it's completely finished.
Yes, sir. Okay.
All right, cool. Who else we have up there? Ricardo, you were just talking. What are you working on this morning?
Well, I've been working on a few different things. I've been getting ready for the Gettysburg Tattoo Convention with Jason.
And when is that?
July. What is that, Jason? The 12th,
10th, and 11th.
9th, 10th, and 11th. That's it.
It's just like two weekends from now or something. 2 or 3 weekends.
Yep. Been working on that. I've been working on this this banner that I've been getting together. I'll show it to you. I'm on my computer, but let me just get this over the class. I don't know if you can see
Ricardo
that.
decided to be adventurous and hand paint a banner.
Nice. Yeah.
Which is sick.
Yeah, that's super cool. Love it.
So yeah, that's oil on canvas. It's about 2 feet by 4 feet. And so what I'll do is I'll paint it on there and then I'll take it off of the frame and then put some like dowel rods at the top and the bottom and just kind of roll it up, you know, and take it with me. So that's the first layer. You can see like over here, this area right here, it's a little hard edge. Like for some, you know, with everything else still being soft and in the preliminary stage, that's the first thing I see, unfortunately. But I'll go back through and I'll start rendering it out a little bit more. So I love. I mean, compositionally, I love it. I love the entire layout. I like the kind of atmospheric, you know, kind of effects and stuff like that. That's gonna be awesome, man. That's like old school. That's how all the banners looked whenever I started tattooing. They were all like hand painted like that, just rolled up on canvas, and half of them had been rolled up so many times they were all like, you know, beat looking and had, you know, that's super cool. You don't see that all that often anymore with all the like the fancy printing and everything that people do, or the people are doing like you know, like tassels and crazy, like, you know, have you ever seen like
the felt pendants?
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. It's gotten so fancy now. I love the hand painted banners. Super cool. How many hours do you have into that right now?
I think it's about 5 hours so far.
Oh, nice.
6 hours. Yeah, so I just ran through it real fast. You know what I mean? Like I was kind of a lot of times I'll do an underpainting first, but this time like I knew what colors that I wanted to work with as the base, and then I'll start going in and softening some of it up and glazing here pretty soon. And I think that'll start bringing it up to that full saturation that I'm looking for, and that atmospheric kind of that lighting and stuff like that. And I'm really looking forward to putting on that like environmental lighting over the whole thing, to kind of really sink it into that camera shot, that setting kind of shot, you know, and tie it all in together. So yeah, I've been working on that. I do have some flash that I'll be doing the same thing with Jason. And I've been working on this the BYOB, the Paradise Gathering poster as well.
Oh, sweet. Awesome.
So
do you have anything?
Show you that.
Yeah. Let's see the progress on that.
I'm working on some lettering right now, so we'll keep that one kind of, you know, I still got to render that out a little bit more, but let me show you this one real quick. Where is that? Let me turn off the drawing assist for the lettering guy real quick.
All right,
here we go. Here we go.
Oh yeah, Yeah, that's gonna be really nice. What's the the head that's in it? Is that just okay? I
Right
can see it
here.
better now. Yeah, I had a
Yeah.
glare right there. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a band that Gabe has playing there, called Vapors and Morphine, and they're like a kind of, what is the right word? A resurrection of the band Morphine. I don't know if you've ever heard them or not, but
Yeah.
they have a heavy saxophone, heavy saxophone kind of drive, real heavy bass line kind of drive, man. And I love them. And Gabe was talking about it one morning, and I started quoting the lyrics, and next thing we know, we're working on this poster, man. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
And
Super cool.
and yeah, so I kind of incorporated a few of the songs into the imagery, and to kind of like tell the story. And then I was working on another one of a cityscape. Here, let me show you that one. And I had forgotten that Gabe and I had talked about doing the setting of, the Jiminy Peak. So back to the drawing board on that one. You know what I mean? But,
Yeah.
let me show this to you real fast.
I was psyched because my initial reaction was, "That's awesome! I love it. Let's keep going with it." And then,
Yeah.
like a half hour later, I looked at it again. I'm like, "That's awesome! Wait, it's a city."
It's the wrong
exactly.
place.
There's like,
Yeah.
I was working on this one. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah. So I was working with that and like kind of getting that bluesy kind of feel, that rocky kind of feel, you know what I mean? But like Gabe said, I was like, damn it. All right, I got it. I got you. I'm all over it, man. So so tightening some things up today. I have a 10 o'clock appointment, and after that, I don't have anything till 5. So I'll probably be getting that finished up this afternoon and get it back over to Gabe this evening. So
yeah, sweet.
Yeah,
you can hold on to the bluesy feeling city one for when we do a Memphis event, since we're the home of the blues here. We're gonna try to do something maybe next summer at my studio, so maybe we can repurpose that one.
Nice, man. Yeah, I'd love to come down and visit and come down and hang out and work on some stuff together, man. That'd be a lot of fun, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Gabe and I have been talking about maybe doing a black and gray week down here. So we need to hash that out a little bit too.
That'd be cool. Without naming names, did you reach out to that musician or?
I have not yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we just want to use June of next year as a tentative date? If I reach out? Okay.
Yeah, I guess I should. I got to clear with the family. I have like 2 spots that are available next year, but
okay.
Yeah, I guess we do. It is true. You do want to be a little careful sometimes. When you ask, you want to be able to just say yes.
Exactly.
If they're, because you don't necessarily get a couple extra chances to say, to ask. But anyways, I was just wondering. That's gonna be fun though. Yeah, we're definitely gonna. You have such a great space there.
Yeah, thanks. It'd be cool great for that
to get back.
It'd be great for that. Sweet. Faith? What's up? How are you? Sorry, I didn't. You were in my. You were on my second page of screen.
It's all good.
How's it going? How's your week starting out?
It's good. It was my first week back in a shop. I was out for a while writing the book. So that was a transition.
Yeah.
But I wanted to show you. I did. He was talking about the value and the colored pencil things.
Mm-hmm.
But I have the way that I draw flash now. I'm sharing this.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, let's see.
The video pulled up. I was drawing a print last night. This is just a video of me drawing in Procreate, but I map out the values, like I'm doing the blacks right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I just map them out in like contrasting colors, and now I'm going in with the darks. And you go in with the middles, but like that's kind of the way that I draw flash now. It just makes it easier to see kind of what it is. And then once I'm just waiting for the lights to go in.
Mm-hmm.
And once I get that in, then I just start coloring the layers back.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's, this is like a flash version, but it's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah.
And where you start, and what you end up with is like 5 different layers. But like, so I'm just trying to figure out how to streamline that a little bit.
Yeah. That's a really cool approach. So are you
like just drawing the different values and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to show you, I did my first anime character last night. It took like 4 hours. It's over here. I thought it went all right, but
oh yeah.
But I don't know.
Super cool. Yeah. I love that approach. So you're basically just kind of break it down into black, white, and 3 grays, huh? Like 5 values total.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
basically that. And it's weird because it's like a roadmap of how to do the tattoo instead of doing, like, that's not what the tattoo looks like, if that makes sense. It's just like visual cues for the mixing strategy.
Yeah, it's like you're breaking down the light and the shadows, and you're
Right, and then I
focusing
smooth
on
down,
the-
and it's like a color-coded value map, so that when I'm tattooing, I don't have to think, and I just worry about the transitions and things like that. So it ends up being like I call it a topographical map of light and color. And it just sounded like the colored pencil thing you were talking about, but it's like, it's not, like I said, it's a roadmap. Ever since I started doing it, it's just I'm starting to get the value that I've been trying to get for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
It's just an easier way.
That's exactly what I was trying to explain with some of the charcoals and stuff that I've been doing too, like paying attention to the shapes more than anything else. That way you're separating, the image from that complication, right? Like you're able to pay attention to the shapes, and you can capture you can capture the character of the image way easier.
It's like
more fluently.
It's like let me show one more thing.
That's exactly what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow morning too.
Oh, sweet.
But if you go to what I do is like you put a saturation layer on top, and you can see that when you, even if it's like every color of the rainbow, when you make it grayscale, it still kind of holds up.
Yeah.
It's just a way it's almost like putting value on autopilot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. But that's what the thing on my website is going to teach. The third module teaches you how to make one of these, because I just draw them like almost mindlessly, and it taught me the color schemes. It taught me like all the kinds of stuff. That you do. And also Lauren works up the street from me. She's like one of my best friends. She helped me with the book and all that. I don't know why she didn't say that. I think I mentioned her last week.
That's why, modesty.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Well, so whenever you're first laying that out on the front, one thing that's teaching you to do is recognize the same values throughout the piece. So you had to find the values in the shadows of the hair, then also find them in the cat or wherever else. So it teaches you to kind of find those relationships. So it's a good little eye training tool as well. When you first start mapping it out, are you just going for contrasting colors? Because those were fully saturated colors. Are you just going for contrasting colors, or are you thinking about value whenever you're doing the first?
I basically map out every single layer, and the reason I do contrasting colors is they're like 5 levels of layers. And then it just makes it easier to see, you know what I mean? Like if I draw black over black, so I pick bright colors, and then once, like the fun part is once you finish it, it looks all crazy.
Right.
But like it'll look, I post them on my what's it called? My Instagram a lot. I'll post those videos, and I'll do like in my story.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. Where is it?
And just remind people that want to learn about it, it's wincolor.com. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's WYNNcolor.com.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I have any, but there, like I posted that one. That's what it looked like when I drew it.
I don't see it. Your screen isn't on right now for me.
Not doing it. Yeah, let me,
There you go. Yeah.
yeah, this is what that looked like when I drew it.
Right.
So it looks crazy, but you can see like the red is the black, and then I drew the green, and then I drew I think the yellow. And then you just kind of go in and you color them, and that's like the fun part, is when you put it back together and it actually looks cool.
Yeah.
So it's like a color to a number almost. And then like,
yeah, I call it a tattoo line impact by number.
Nice.
Like that's a little one on the bottom there. That's how I draw like everything now, and it just makes my life easier.
That's awesome that you do. That's exactly what I approach drawing too. I use it, especially if I'm in Procreate, it's like a flat brush, and I just chunk it all in there right away.
Yeah, and it's a way everyone's out there doing like the airbrush, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yes. I do.
And like, so it teaches me how to get value out of mixing it. But
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. But and then
very cool.
I told you last week a little bit about my my ink set.
Yeah.
where it's like each level is just one mixing strategy. It's either white added, mixed with analogous colors, or saturate. So each one of those is coded. Like if I see a dark one, then I desaturate. If I see a light one, I add white. So it's just really those three simple ones color coded to a map. And it just makes it kind of like, and I can even add, I can work just from a black and gray photograph. I never work from color anymore. I just make it all up based on those strategies.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's super cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. I love in any way that you can come up with to simplify, simplify the process, the problems, and at the same time, the cool thing about that is you're like simplifying the process, which actually gives you more options, more kind of creative freedom.
Exactly.
Like you said, color can go anywhere.
Once they're contained to those three areas of light, like it started out like, yes, I finally got value, like I got a full range finally. But once you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, you find these like whole worlds of darks and this whole world of mills and this whole world of lights that you can easily play and go the whole way around the wheel, because it's the same 23 colors in all three sections, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you end up with basically 75 values to choose from, and you can easily mix them. Just the mixing strategy is easy, and it's just, I don't know, it works. And Lauren just started drawing the flash like last week. I'm teaching her first. She's like my first, her and my friend Miranda, I put them through it.
Okay.
And then if they get through it, I just add stuff that they needed, and then I put it up. And I'm redoing module 1 after this. I'm gonna record the lecture and see if I can get it up there or get it up next week.
Yeah, sweet. Lauren, how's that? Has it been pretty easy? Is Lauren still up? I don't see her.
I don't know. She was there till like 1 a.m, and I kind of
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so she might.
No, she's still
coming next week.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. It's really helpful.
Yeah,
really helpful. Super easy.
I haven't seen her do it yet, though.
Yeah, yeah. You'll have to share the progress with us. That's Lauren. That's that's super cool. I love the concept, and I appreciate. Yeah, you sent me a few of the. You sent me all this by email, and I did. I went through it. I haven't had time to sit down and pour over it, but I love that little example right there. That's super helpful. Really useful. Ricardo, what'd you say? You're teaching the same thing to the same kind of concepts tomorrow?
Yeah, it's awesome that you brought it up, Face, because that's exactly what I've been, wanting to talk about. Is the process that I do with the same thing with charcoals. It's like I base all my colors off of black and gray the same way. I always only use the 3 values, you know what I mean? I try to go with like a dark, a medium, and a light. I found in my tattooing that lasts quite a bit longer, like the livelihood of it, the tattoo, the longevity of the tattoo lasts. So I've been applying it to my artwork too. And I really like the way that you're chunking all those shapes in, because that's exactly what I try to teach, and I try to pay attention to, and I try to talk about a lot, So like, if you get a chance, Faith, it'd be great to have it tomorrow morning and like kind of discuss it. And I'd like to keep it open-ended, where you can join in right away, and we're just going to go through it together, ask questions, and we can share some, some knowledge and stuff like that. The other thing that we're going to be talking about too is like, just how I relate this kind of concept to life in general, like as far as perception goes. Like, I think a lot of the times we end up looking at the image for so many details right away that we forget that it's an overall like light and shadow illusion. All we're doing is working on a 2D surface, and we're trying to bring this thing into existence. You know what I mean? So like, we create the world around us by paying attention to what's going on around us. So like, I really dig it. So yeah, that's what some of the stuff we'll be talking about. And I really like that 3 value system that you got going on. And it's cool that you're, taking those colors and tying it into this value, and you can kind of just run with it after that. Once you have that shape down, you can do whatever you want with it. Really cool. So
yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome stuff. So if you can join in tomorrow, Faith, that'd be great.
Yeah, you definitely should. What time is it? 10 a.m.
10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Yep. And I have a materials list and stuff on there too. I like to paint, or it's basically, I like to try to paint with charcoal, like you're talking about, it's almost like an underpainting for an oil painting, the way that I approach all my drawings and stuff like that anymore. And I find it's faster, you know what I mean? I'm paying attention to the overall composition without even realizing it. And the whole piece just fits together a little bit sooner. So I can grasp that concept that's in my head and just lay it down on surface.
One of the things
Yeah.
I
A little
try
more
to
efficiently.
Yeah.
one of the things I try to do, like in this, the idea is to reduce like the thought process, like while I'm
Yeah.
tattooing. The
Yeah.
only thing that I think about, and I say this in the book the whole time, is how much light is on the object. And all I mean is like, is it light? Is it a highlight? Is it light, middle, dark, or light? And I either have a black and gray or a mixing strategy that goes with that. And it just makes it so simple that I can concentrate on just actually doing the tattoo, and just sometimes I change things, and it just makes it cool. And I don't really do it in black and gray though. Maybe I should try and do that more. But
Well,
I
that's the
usually
thing. I mean, you have the concept down. I mean, if you can, it's that adding color to that strategy is like one step beyond. You know what I mean? And that's awesome that you're utilizing that color pattern for your valleys and stuff like that. It's awesome. And the fact that you can break it down to 3 simple tones is even better. You know, because it's like whenever you are tattooing, there's so many variables. You know what I mean? And I think I've developed this because of tattooing, and like the way that I'm trying to view my life and stuff like that right now is like, the less chaos you have going on, the more organized it is. You know what I mean? If you're down to a schedule, you know what I mean? Speaking with your schedule, like trying to keep the pattern in your life. It's the same thing with art. You know, you sit down, you draw, you pay attention to what it is that you're doing. That way you can focus on that moment.
and actually, once I kind of figured out that strategy, I bought paint that was similar, and I started painting. I can show you how to painting. I think I can switch this.
Same thing. Yeah.
You see
I
that?
could, yeah.
Sort of.
Let's see.
Yeah.
That's like same strategy.
Yeah.
But you can see how it's kind of picked apart by value with the light and the white and everything.
Mhm.
But like, so I'll try to kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like once I started doing that, I can't like unsee it, if that makes
Yes.
sense.
No,
Like,
that's awesome. That's so awesome, man. You're like speaking my language right now. That's exactly what I thought about. You know, like
Like,
once you
I
open
can't-
yourself up to
it's
the,
like all I see is
that,
value.
yeah, that's exactly it. Like you,
Yeah, it's like
it's the same thing with life. And then you open up your eyes to this moment, and it's you can never really go back from there. Yeah.
when people want to know what my flash, like the new 3D flash is what I call it, because it's like topographical. I tell them to look at Dragon Ball Z, because that's like what it looks like, the 5. Like lots of anime has it, and it's just, I don't know. It's like, I guess it's the foundation. I didn't go to art school or anything. I'm guessing that when you go into some kind of program, it's going to start with that. And that was the part that I think I missed the whole time.
Well, you know, you develop ways to create what you see. You know what I mean? And like I said all the time, but necessity is the mother of invention, and you make your own way of doing things. You know, and it's awesome. And that's the cool part, is that us as artists, all we're trying to do is create. And it's awesome to be able to sit down together, like especially on this forum, this app with you, Jake, in the mornings, and Jason on Sundays and stuff, and Gaia on Monday nights, man. You get to see all those different ways, like you were saying earlier today. You know, there's a lot of different approaches, and it's cool to be able to like pick them apart, talk about them, also give advice and our opinions on them, man. That's so rad, so rad.
Yeah, I agree. It's that's such a valuable thing that that's you know, still kind of new, is this ability to like sit down and pull little pieces from everyone's process. And it's funny how whenever someone says something that you can plug right in, how obvious it is. You know what I mean? Like, yep, I got that. Exactly.
You're like, why didn't I see that? Oh my God, that
Yeah.
makes perfect sense. Yeah. It's like that last little puzzle piece that just fits right in there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's cool. But have you guys ever seen a movie called Waking Life?
Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Waking Life is an awesome movie. Yeah, and I planned on using one of the clips tomorrow morning if I could. But based in that movie, they've taken live footage stock and they put it through a computer program, and it painted it in all these different renderings.
Dude, that was hand painted. That was rotoscoped. That wasn't computer.
Were they hand painted? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. That's even better then, man. That's awesome. I thought it was.
You'll see like each of the different segments. You'll notice they have a little subtly different style because they had different artists go through it.
Yep. Yeah. I thought they just had like, you know, put it in the programming and like each artist kind of influenced.
Yeah. Nah, Richard Linklater, man, he fucking killed it.
Yeah. Dude, it's awesome. It's a great movie.
Did you study lucid dreaming after that? Are you a lucid dreamer?
You know, I've always been to that idea of being able to control that part of our our psyche. You know what I mean?
It's 100%. Like the only reason,
Yeah.
the only people that can't control their dreams are the people that either believe they can't or don't practice it. Just like anything
Right.
else.
Yeah, just like your waking life, like it's like the
Just like your
title,
waking
right?
life.
Yep. And so like the whole point of the movie is like, what's the difference between your waking life and your sleeping life? You know what I mean? If you can realize that you can control it, then what's the difference? But to the point was that the way you painted that last painting, if you get into that like hard edge kind of values with color, check it out. You won't be disappointed. There's a lot of that kind of style in there, man. It's pretty awesome.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, I think you can find it anywhere. I mean, it's been out since what was it, Gabe?
What's it
Like
called one more time?
Waking Life. And like I said, I'm gonna do my best to try to get a little clip up on there that I kind of I watch it every once in a while, and it kind of reminds me of where we're at, like as far as our drive and our goals and the reality of participating.
We bought
in
it
our
on
own
the.
choices.
It's worth one of the purchases on the Apple TV or whatever the thing is of choice, because you could watch it like a gazillion times, and there's always something new coming out.
Yeah,
That's
man.
awesome.
That's awesome.
Before we go, real quick, Jake,
Yep.
I saw a fucking massive Mike Roper tattoo today or last week.
Who now?
Mike
who?
Roper. Does anybody know Mike Roper? He's like a legendary tattooer that doesn't like promote at all, and like from way back in the day. And,
those are my favorite kinds of tattooers, though. I may know. Where's he from?
Phoenix. And I haven't heard of him in like probably 8 or 9 years. And the other day I was like, I wonder whatever happened to him. But I was down at Gabriel Cece's shop, and there's a tattooer there who's got. I was chatting with him. He went and he did his pilgrimage out to Philip Blues. And when he was out there, he was, lucky enough for, hit the energies right, so that he was chatting with them all, and Philip sent him to Mike Roper, and it took him like another couple of years to figure out whoever it was to connect him, because again, this guy's like a ghost in the tattoo machine. But I was like, oh, wait a minute. So did you get work done? He's like, yeah, I have 2 full leg sleeves and a back piece. And so all of a sudden, he's full on, and impeccable, Japanese, Asian style fucking dragons, fucking sick. And the whole tattoos, again, it was 2 legs and a back piece.
Oh, wow.
So if you ever get to hang out at Gabriel Cece's shop, there's an artist there that Blake. Anyways, I was psyched. I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I've actually ever seen a tattoo from him. I've heard about him as from back in the day. But anyways, I was really excited that
I'll be sure to look him up. I may
you
know
can't.
his work.
You could try.
Like, yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
Gotcha. Right. Well, cool. Yeah, everybody, I've got to run on, but I've got one thing I wanted to tell everybody about, a new series that we're starting. I got 2 interviews in on it yesterday, but it's going to be a series on storytelling through tattoos, creating a narrative. And so my first 2 interviews were, of course, Baxter, because he's my go-to whenever I'm testing out a new idea. So yeah, so I got one with Baxter, one with Teresa Sharp yesterday. And I've got a handful of folks, Andy Chambers being one of them, because he's the one that kind of was the catalyst to get me to start thinking the way that a lot of these illustrative style tattooers do, storytellers do. So and I think I mentioned this before, because we were talking about, I think last week, about maybe getting Christina Christie on it. So I haven't reached out to her yet, but I will. But I've got a handful of other folks. Teresa recommended a couple of people that I'm going to reach out to as well. So should be a fun series. I'm hoping that it kicks off in July, and I'm hoping it's like 8 to 10 episodes. So tune in to the fireside for that. But man, thanks everybody.
Awesome.
This is a fun one, and I'll see you guys. Yeah, see you guys next week.
Take care. Cheers.
Later.
Thanks.
So I think I'm still pinned there, Gabe.
Oh, are you?
I think so, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Ricardo. We don't mind looking at your beautiful punum, but
Well, it looks like you're going
Thank
out.
you,
I think.
I appreciate that, man. So, yeah.
Voila. Okay. Cool. I'm going to call in from my phone. You guys are on for a little bit longer, or what's the plan?
yeah, I got like another 20 minutes in me.
Yeah, perfect. We'll say we'll go till 10:30.
Killer.
Let's see. So people from the chat room. Let's see. Cindy Barton says horns. Everyone, like the horns from the. Hold on. Like horns, horns,
Yeah,
horns.
yeah. Rock and roll.
Let's see.
Eddie
Eddie
Lopez.
Lopez says, "Cool show." He says that now, but wait, it doesn't actually ever drag on. It doesn't seem like. Okay. Pigs on the basement. It's all very active, very fun. Thank you very much for all the comments in the chat rooms. Happens to me all the time. Analyzing pigs, recognizing what we could have done better. We all just analyze and pick apart what we could do better. It's a thankless task. Pigs on the basement says every time he goes into work, my colleagues here get pissed off with me every Monday. I turn out the music and get the show broadcast on the shop. And then
What we like to hear.
Yeah, jump on board, guys. He's doing you a favor.
Caroline Evans says, good morning. She hops on sometimes. She might be at one of those shows. I was looking at a bunch of the shows that people are going to, and Caroline's at a bunch of them. Paul Lane says, love the series. Thanks for making this happen. Meow Yo says, really dope in here. Got a lot of going on.
Thank you.
Greetings from Portugal. Pig on the Basement is in Portugal. I was wondering, he's like, every Monday morning at 9 o'clock, I'm in and I have to shut off the music. But it's afternoon over in Portugal. Let's see. Chris Smith says, been nice to watch this channel grow. Great content. Agreed. That was on the Fireside Tattoo Network channel. And it is great to see Jake's channel grow. I remember 10 years ago or 8 years ago, when he first started up, we were like, he's got a couple people on there. What's he got? Now 8 years later, I'm like, oh man, he's killing us on YouTube. I got to get our shit going again. He's awesome though. I remember, and he wasn't put off. I remember, I think one of the first times he was asking some questions around our camp, not with me, but one of our crew. They were like, "What are you asking us for? I'm not going to give away all our secrets." And
right.
It was kind of funny because there's no secrets. we all just struggle with the technology and the work. The best thing that's going to happen is and Jason, I'm sure you're well aware. Like we share technology tips, and we just have bigger technology problems.
Yeah, without question. Without question.
One check more problems, right?
Yeah. Well, technology, and I've been a firm advocate of this, technology when it works is a blessing, but when it doesn't, it is the bane of your existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it can flip.
Like every day.
The thing especially with like computer programming is it could be like one character off and it fucks the whole thing up. So it's like you're literally spending like an hour and a half trying to figure out what the hell's going wrong. You flip the one character and now all of a sudden it's working again. So you go from like that everything is hopeless and lost to like all of a sudden everything is working magically like the way it's supposed to within a character.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna hop off. I'll be back in like 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay. Jason, that piece is coming together really nice, man. I like it.
I don't know.
Yes, sir. Insane.
Yeah,
I think I might change the color scheme on it and do more of like an orangey red tone as opposed to like the red and gold.
Yeah.
Or as opposed to the orange and gold, because I already have this one that's done with like the gold and like the browns.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I might switch it up a little bit.
What if
Although
what if
this
he kept
one's
it like
got a bit
that,
more
but changed
to it?
Yeah, what if he changed the feel of the rope? Is the border colored in on the other one? I didn't see.
Yeah. I always color in the borders with like a complementary color.
Yeah.
This one's got just like a brighter yellow tone to it with like a nice red rope and some teal beads.
I wonder if you kept the border warm, as in the other fish that you have going on, the orange and yellow one, and made it a little bit more like of an intense red or something like that, and then did the rope with different color.
Let's play with the color and let's see what we come up with.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, that looks killer with all that dark around it.
Something more like pinkish and orange, like a peach. Yeah, we can go full pink or purple.
That's not too bad.
We can go more like violet and like blue. Ooh, I kind of like the blue.
That blue looks awesome, dude. Yeah.
like that nice like teal blue.
Hmm.
Well, it's more like a powder blue, but we can go more teal. Green looks gnarly, but it kind of looks radioactive.
Yeah, I think I like that blue the most so far.
Question is, do I want to go with a warmer blue tone or a cooler blue tone?
Honestly, in my opinion, I think I'd keep it cooler with the water than those ISO bars and such being so dark, you know?
Well, I'm not really a fan of doing my water in any kind of a color because water in and of itself is transparent, right?
Right.
So the way that I would portray that is just by keeping it all black and gray, but doing, taking some of this nice blue tone in here,
Hmm. And doing
and
that
then I would go
transparency.
through and I would,
Filler.
since all of my color is on a separate layer, I don't have to worry about messing with all the black and gray wind bars.
Right.
And then I would just kind of color up to there so it's got that transparent kind of look.
Yep.
Because as these wave bars would crash over top, it would be translucent, so you would see through some of it. But in
Yep.
order to get the value there, I would want to make sure that I keep my black and gray contrast.
Yep.
And I can always go back through after the fact and, increase or decrease the opacity of my black and gray layer, allow more to show through or less to show through.
Yeah, I like it like that right there. And that's definitely what I was talking about whenever I said, with the water being that like more of a transparent, or not a transparent gray, but a softer value of gray.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and then with that blue, it really like sets it off. It doesn't have to be that hot. So cool how that works out, isn't it? The separation of the values, like you have the darker uh, blue, or the darker value of that blue, mimicking or parallel to that isobar on its back and its belly and stuff. So it's pretty cool how that works. And then you have that lighter blue value, so dark tone.
Yeah, it's almost like a non-photo blue, which is really difficult to mimic in tattooing.
Right.
There is one company that I found though that actually makes a non-photo blue pigment,
Hmm.
and that's Industry Inc.
Hmm.
And I absolutely love their pigments.
Hmm.
So I actually picked up a bottle of that, and it's amazing. It literally is non-photo blue, which is incredible.
Nice.
Oh, so great question. No, I don't typically add color to my waves, because when you look at water itself, water is transparent, right?
Mhm.
Yes, there are some people that will add that in as like, a contrasting color or complementary color. But for me, I like to keep that more black and gray to allow the color areas that I do around it to really jump forward a little bit more and really take your eye and put your eye to focus on that color, because I don't want those waves to become my primary focal point. I want those to be more subdued, and I want those to be more subtle in the background, right? I don't want you to look here and here. I only want you to look at the areas where I'm trying to take your eye. So by keeping my primary focal point and my primary subject matter and keeping that in color, that's immediately where your eye is going to go when you see this. So it just helps isolate what I want you to look at the most. I don't know. That's my justification for it, and I'm sticking to it.
Larry Krugler. Larry Krugler said, "Good morning," and he likes that fish that you're working on, Jason. He's
Larry, I
loving the
miss
wind.
you.
He's loving the wind bars that are going over him with his textures coming through. Excellent job, Jason.
Yeah, it's another thing I like to do is texture contrast.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like to create a rhythm with it, and it's something I've been trying to focus on more. Is simplistic and smooth backgrounds smooth isobars, and then texture, and then more smooth, right? So I like to try to create that rhythm and that almost like a 3-step process at the minimum,
Mhm.
just because it creates a more visually interesting piece, right? And it really helps isolate your eyes. Exactly. Casey said, like a magician directing the focus.
Yes.
Absolutely. You want to tell people where to look.
Yeah.
Even if they don't want to look there, you want to force their eye to look exactly where you want them to look, you know? And by isolating and using different types of tricks, like using more subdued tones and then one bright tone, one singular bright color, and everything else muted out, muted down, mixed with black, or some type of like an opaque gray to kind of mute that tone down, mix it with
Yep.
its complement to mute it down. When you start to really get into that, but you have one bright, pure color, that's where your eye is going to go, is to that bright, pure color, you know? So it's just a little trick of focus, right? Everything that I do, I try to keep in mind, okay, where do I want people to look? Do I want them to look at this wave back here in the back corner? Do I want them to look at this knot? Do I want them to look, at the beads down here at the bottom? Where do I want people to look at this image? And my focal point, my primary focus is going to be right here in this eye.
Yeah.
And I'll
So you
show
just
you
bring-
exactly how I bring your eye straight to that point. And it doesn't matter what color scheme you use. There's a very easy way to bring your eye straight to that point that I want people to look at. If you'll notice, I've got a couple of different layers going on, right? I've got my original orange and yellow layer, this blue layer, which I was playing around with, which is where I changed the color. And right above that, I've got a layer of all of my black and gray shading, right? So I can hide that or not. I can enable that so you can see all the value. But you'll notice that a lot of these blues are actually mixed with this black and gray shading layer, right?
Mhm.
That's in essence muting down a lot of these blue tones to not make them quite as vibrant. So what's going to end up happening is I'm going to tone down a lot more of these blues. And then what I'm going to do is go back through on a separate layer, and I'm going to take something like a nice golden yellow, or maybe even something a little bit more orange with a touch more orange to it. And then I'm going to keep this eye as a nice, super vibrant yellow.
Mhm.
And we'll mix in some super bright, like canary yellows.
And Jason, if you could you show us that color palette on the color wheel to see where they're set with each other as far as their physical location on the color wheel?
No, I don't want them.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, not a problem, man. We just finished throwing this yellow in.
And then the question is, like, when you're muting down those greens or those blues, I'm sorry, and you're talking about muting them down versus the pure intense color, like straight out of the bottom almost, maybe with a little bit of white. What would you do to mute that blue down? What colors would you mix together to mute that blue down?
Oh, you could mix any number of different colors. Orange is a good one to neutralize blue, because that's directly opposite blue on any color wheel you see.
Right.
So sometimes I'll take like a burnt orange if I'm working with a bright blue, and I'll dip into my burnt orange. That'll neutralize that blue, and it'll make it a very, very great. You just want to barely add any to it just to neutralize it a little bit, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And what that's going to do is that's going to create what's known as a technical gray. A technical gray is when you take any color in its complement, its direct
Yeah.
complement, and you mix them together, and it really does create this like weird grayish tone, right? And that is going to, it's basically a completely neutralized color at that point. So what I'm going to want to do is just mute that down a tiny bit, and it's going to gray it out. And that's going to allow me to keep one single color absolutely vibrant.
It's awesome.
So Pig on the Basement just asked, do you keep tone layers or full spectrum color layers? I keep all layers. I know that's not very specific of an answer, but I'm a layer whore. So I'll have 80, 90, as many layers as I can possibly fit in a document. And if I don't have enough layers in that document, I'll duplicate the document, delete a few that I might not need again, and then that way I've got room for more. I try to work on as many different layers as I possibly can, just for ease of control and ease of access, because I want to be able to go back through like I am with this eye. The color in this eye is on a completely separate layer, right? So I know if I want to edit the color in this eye, I know exactly what layer to go to. I know that if I want to edit the blue layer, like all of my blues on this, I know exactly what layer to go to. If I want to edit my black and gray undertones and my value layer, I know exactly what layer to go to, right? So I'm basically designing this like I would do a tattoo. After I have my initial sketch, I'll lay down my black lines. I'll, do whatever I need to do to make sure that that's perfect. And then I'll go back through and I'll create a value layer with black and gray so we can get those undertones. Then I'll start layering color over top of it, right? Chris Smith just asked, is airbrush the best tool for value? That's all up to personal preference. I don't really use the airbrush tool unless I'm working with an eraser, and that's only so I can get very soft edges. If I'm coloring in like I am now, I'm just using the Procreate pencil, and that's under your sketching palette, right? And I've got it set up at, like 40%, 35%. And it, I'll use it like I'm doing, like I'm painting almost. I'll go through and say, what do I need to color in next? Let's do a little bit more blue. Let's go back to my blue layer. So if I'm going to go through and color in an area, say down here, I'm going to go through and just layer this in. I really like it because you can block it in pretty quickly and easily. You can lay it on its side and get a little bit of a lighter value and color in a little bit of a larger area to the point that you can almost not even see it. Just like you would if you were doing a very light wash with a brush. You can start to see it coming through a little bit now. And if it's too jagged, then I'll go back through with my blending tool and I'll smooth it out and I'll push it around just like you would push paint around on a canvas. And it literally makes it like you're digitally painting. So you can fill in areas, you can blend areas. If I want to take this more intense blue and bring this down a little bit more, if I want to drag this blue over here a little bit more, kind of mix that in. Once again, I'm not really worried about my value. My value study is there. No, I don't really use tone specific layers. If I'm working with multiple tones, say I wanted to add more of like a royal blue to this in certain spots just for contrast sake, or just for color sake, say instead of doing monochromatic, say I want to do something that's got a little bit more of a color value. I'll add that in there, but I'll do it all on the same layer. That way I can go through and blend each tone together using my blender to have that smooth gradient going from like that ultramarine blue into this very light non-photo blue. Because if they're each on a separate layer, could I do it the same way? Yes. but I wouldn't quite get that organic kind of mix of color. So it would feel a little, and I have done that plenty of times before, and I've got plenty of, you know, artwork that I've done on the iPad where I can show that to you, where it's like, okay, I'll create my dark blues on a separate layer, do my light blues on another layer, you know, I'll do my golden yellows or my orangey yellows on another layer, and then my bright yellows on another layer. But I found that when I was doing that, I would constantly have to be switching layers to the point that it was almost ineffective, right? So I do want to stick with certain layers and certain things, but I always want to be able to go back to an original layer that I have with like one base tone, right? So say I didn't like this and I ended up throwing this ultramarine blue into a lot of different areas. Well, if I needed to, I still have this orange and yellow layer. I can just make that blue and I'm right back to where I started. So it's a redundancy thing.
So you can kind of experiment this way.
Absolutely.
You can kind of experiment and play around with the ideas that you might have. And you're not sure if they're going to work. Sometimes it's, I think personally, Jason, that's one of the coolest spaces to be in, is that you can allow yourself to do that and safely with the Procreate app. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know, you have this notion, you have this like spark, and like it's like let's test it out. You know what I mean? And sometimes that magic is just all it needed. That chance that you took, and it's awesome. And other times you just kind of fall into it too, and that's great.
Absolutely.
That you're right about the layers, man. I always forget. I always forget that there's all these layers. You know what I mean? It's essentially it's like, you know, back in analog days where it was just multiple amounts of tracing paper. Each sheet of tracing paper had a different color. You know what I mean? But this is so convenient, and I think that you go over that in your in some of the modules and stuff like that that you've been working on too, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you were asking about the color wheel?
Yes, the color wheel. Let's take a look at the let's see where they are in relation to each other.
So I can add my color picker, and if I come over here and we'll just pick this nice blue tone right at the bottom of the eye. So over here in my color wheel, you can see exactly where that sits on the color wheel. So it's right in between this like teal and this ultramarine blue. Okay. So that means directly opposite that would be this nice deep orange tone.
I see.
Okay. So if I really wanted to add a complementary color, I would come over and I would grab this orange. Wrong layer. And I'd probably make that a little bit more vibrant with a little bit more saturation. Just because I really want to put your focus on this.
So those being across from each other on the color wheel is going to create that dynamic effect of color next to each
Absolutely.
other, right? And that's what you're looking for, is that intense pop. Like you want them all to look. And this is the area that you're trying to put focus on. So that's why you're doing it where they're across from the color wheel on each other and they're complementary.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. And then the
I mean,
other colors that you have, they're
I could go with a different type of color scheme, like a
Mhm.
split complementary. I could go with a triadic color scheme, a
right.
tetradic color scheme.
Right.
And those are great if you really want to get super technical with it. Since
Right.
this is a small one-shot design that I'm creating for a convention, I'm
Mhm.
trying to keep it super simple, right?
Right.
I want to
right.
do one blue. I want to do like a golden yellow, some white highlights, and some black and gray. I might go a little bit fancier and add like, you know, maybe I'll do like a royal blue or an ultramarine blue border to this to kind of tie in with my fish. And then maybe I'll do some nice golden yellow rope coming around with some
Mhm.
royal blue beads, right? But I want to
Right.
keep it fairly simple as far as my color scheme goes, because I want to be able to do this, knock it out, and move on to the next one pretty quickly,
Right.
right? Because I'm designing this for a show. So I'm trying to keep time. I'm trying to keep my time amount as a factor, and I'm
Yep.
trying to really let that show through.
Yeah, and that's the cool part, man. I can't tell you how many times I've approached something with all these complicated theories on color and stuff like that and how I'm going to approach it. But you end up doing a smaller tattoo and you simplify it like you're talking about. And sometimes less is more, you know,
Exactly.
especially when you're
Speaking
talking
of
about the overall size.
time
and space.
management and less is more, we are 5 past, 10 past.
Oh,
Okay.
yep.
So, if time flies while we're having fun, does everybody
Yes,
want
it
to kind
does.
of give us one last explanation of how to get to find Joe, and then we'll wrap it up?
Go
Yeah.
ahead. Who wants to
Awesome.
start?
Cool. My name is Ricardo Sturdivant. I'm in Normal, Illinois. You can find me on Instagram at Candor Tattoo. Give me a shout, say what's up. We're gonna be in Jason and I will be in Philly, or no, I'm sorry, Gettysburg, July 12th, 11th,
9th, 10th, and 11th.
9th, 10th, and 11th. I'm sorry. If you're in the area, come check it out. I'm gonna come get tattooed. That'd be great. Jason and I will also have some original designs there, like he's working on right now. And if not, you're gonna just come say hello and ask about the Reinventing the Tattoo crew and the app. Come on down and we'll shoot the shit.
Yep. Look for our banners.
Yes.
You'll recognize it.
Mhm. Jason, how about
Akshay,
you?
I'm passing it off to Akshay. I'll go last, man.
Okay.
So my name is Akshay Kashyap and I am from India and I have been tattooing from last few years and I mostly do black and gray tattoos. Best way to reach me out is through my Instagram. My Instagram handle is akshay.tattoos. And thank you so much, Jason sir, Ricardo sir, Gabe sir, and Guy sir for doing this. It's crazy and it's so amazing to be here on Mondays and Sundays. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Melissa, why don't you go through and give us a little sign off?
Hey guys, Melissa. I'm located out in Oregon. You can find me on Instagram at MAC_MISSA. I do all sorts of cover-up stuff, all sorts of interesting styles. Feel free to give me a follow. Have a good morning, guys.
You do the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
All right, I guess it's my turn now. So I'm Jason Leeser. I lead the Sunday afternoon drawing groups at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you to everyone joining in. If anyone ever has any topics or ideas about what you might want to see on any of these drawing groups, things you want us to cover, ideas, topics, anything like that, by all means, feel free to send us a message, shoot us an email. You can see my Instagram right there on my video. It's at Philly Inc. Feel free to send me a direct message. I'll be more than happy to reply to you. You know, I don't have like an assistant or anything like that to manage anything. It's all me. You know, but I'm always looking for, you know, input on different things. If anyone ever has any questions about anything, feel free to drop me a line, send me an email. Be happy to answer it. Yes, Casey Dyer just sent a chat through asking about the t-shirts I mentioned yesterday. And yes, I am currently working on a design for that. That they probably won't be, you know, publicly accessible, but if you send me a message, I'll probably end up sending you one.
Nice.
But yeah, thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you, Gabe, for helping to facilitate everything as always. You are a technical magician, so thank you very much for that. Yeah, and I hope everyone has a great day and a great rest of their Monday. And
Awesome.
Ricardo, you have a drawing group coming up tomorrow morning, don't you?
Yeah, man. Thanks for reminding me about that. I forgot to mention that. Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Join me for some perspectives on how I approach drawings with charcoals. There's a materials list and stuff like that after a video that I introduced the class called Drawing Large to Small. If you get a chance, go on the RIT app, look me up, and it should be there right at the top of the list. it'll be really cool to hang out with everybody, and we'll go over a lot of different topics and try to get as much done into it as we can in about an hour and a half or so. And I look forward to doing a few more after that too.
Awesome. And then that's going to roll
um,
into Kirsten and Amy's event that's happening tomorrow at noon.
Yeah, man, that's going to be another one. I'm going to tune right in for that. I can't wait for that.
That's for people watching. That's The Apprentice Diaries, Amy Nichols and Kirsten, who works with Reinventing and helps out. They're doing an event for apprentices and apprentice hopefuls. So yeah, that's happening tomorrow, and all the stuff will be on replay. Thanks everybody for making it happen. And yeah, I guess I'm going to click the button on my portable here that says end event. This is the craziness. Okay, now I know I could go